Good evening and welcome to the world premiere, the brand new debut of the always new, always hot Sarge Blotto's Hot Seat, the new half-hour version in which we cram 15 minutes full of entertainment and information into a half an hour. And the song you were listening to was Don't Take Candy from Strangers, written by my inimitable and always marvelous guest, the premier guest tonight on the half-hour Hot Seat, the absolutely incredible, always marvelous Bert Sommer. Bert Sommer.
I love this guy.
And that was the song "Don't Take Candy from Strangers" that he wrote with another local legend, master guitar slinger Eddie Angel.
That's right.
This is only a half-hour show, and
okay.
I know that in your life you have done about a half hour's worth of things at least.
Half hour's worth of work, certainly.
Right. Yes. So let's.
Would you like to start, babe?
Let's jump right in. I mean, you're a multi-talented star. Now,
Absolutely.
You were major label record deals. We're talking lots of albums.
We're talking big, babe.
We're talking TV. We're talking Broadway stage. We're talking Teen Idol.
Look at that. Does that look like me? Look, check this guy. Look here. See, here's the mole. See the little mole here? I got it right over here. Oh. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? You get a close-up of that, babe. This is the program for hair when I did this. And this was from the Los Angeles cast. And anyway, forget it. This is this is 1969. And Charlie, I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
Let's talk about hair for a little while.
Okay, what do you
while we're showing the program here. This is...
There's a shot of the nude scene in here, too, but that's all you get to see.
Now, who is in this production with you?
Well, in this production, you had Ben Vereen. Ben Vereen, the guy that dances and sings. Yeah. Marvelous. A tremendous talent, ladies and gentlemen.
Sammy Davis Jr. of the 80s.
Marvelous, marvelous. Ben was in there. Jennifer Warnes, the girl sang It's the Right Time of the Night. Right. She was in that, and... My goodness, it was good.
That's pretty hot company.
Many people. Barry McGuire was in it for a while, and Joe Butler from The Love and Spoon. Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a little bit in there too. And all kinds of guys.
How long did you do this?
I did the L.A. show very quickly. I opened the the original cast in L.A. for about 3 months, and then I had gotten a record deal, which was that old Capitol album. Yeah, here we go. This was my first album here. This is 1969. Again, see, look at that face.
Same hairdo? Let's compare hairdos.
Here, look at that beautifulness.
Compare hairdos here.
Look at that. See?
Yeah, same hair.
Right.
Yeah.
So this was on Capitol Records, and this was the first thing I did. Then I cut this, and I went back to New York, and I joined the cast of Hair there, and I did that thing through 1970. And then... Of course.
L.A., you did New York.
Oh, yeah. New York.
Well,
that was the main
companies?
thing. No. The main thing I did was the New York cast. I was in that for about a year and a half. But then that was in February of 69. But, of course, now in August 69 was the historic Woodstock Festival, which was a tremendous gathering of festivities. And I happened to be there.
A few of our viewers may be old enough to have heard their grandfathers talk about the Woodstock Festival, Pop and Rock Love Festival.
I lost that the Times thing, but anyway, Woodstock.
We have here the
Woodstock
weekly
69.
reader scholastic book called Woodstock 69, and inside on one of those unnumbered pages we find a shot of this gentleman.
Look at this guy! I love this guy. Look at that.
Sitting cross-legged in a yoga
stage,
position.
I was in the sound towers, and I watched the whole show, like Saturday and Friday night. Watch it from that sound tower.
Well, you didn't watch the whole show.
No, because I was busy indulging in many activities that were available.
No, but what I'm trying to get at, Bert, was that you were playing at the festival as well.
Of course, I'm referring to after. I played. Matter of fact, yes, it was great. It was. I think the night I played, there was 300,000 people that night. So by Saturday it was 500,000 people. That's the true count.
What was your spot on the show?
Okay, well I went on. Let's see, Richie Havens. He opened. There was a fight about who was going to open it, and like I was the new kid on the block. They asked me to open. I said, I was petrified. I wasn't going to get in front of all those people, and so Havens said, "Hey, because of the professional that he is, he said, you know, don't worry about it, I'll open. He opened, and a group called Sweetwater went on, you know. Then I went on about 7 o'clock, 7:30, as it was getting dark. And then Tim Horn went on after me, and so on. And by that time, I was a little out of commission at that point.
And the people after that were not quite sure who was on.
But that was great, like, because all the amount of people, like, this was the first gig I'd ever done. Because
this was the first gig you'd ever done?
First time I ever played, in front of an audience. Sure, you know, I played in my living room and, you know, played for friends and stuff. The first time I played, so, like, I was petrified, you know.
Now,
I was nervous, you know what I mean?
You hadn't done any...
I had already cut a record, though. See, I had made an album.
Right.
And I had been in Hair, and, I mean, that was, like, schooling enough to, like, get in front of them people.
But doing your songs in front of an audience...
Never had done it.
Woodstock Festival.
That was my debut.
First time.
Absolutely. Isn't that marvelous?
Well, that's kind of hard to believe that you just...
Yeah, strange but true, but yeah, that's what happened.
Well, I guess when you're a superstar like you are, those
yeah.
things fall into your lap.
Can you lend me 10? I'm really short of cash this week. Okay, yeah, so moving right along. Next. No, so I did that. I stayed in here for a good long time, and then after Woodstock had happened, maybe 8 months, 10 months later, I got another record deal because that first Capitol album went nowhere. The guy that produced it, Artie Kornfeld, he was the producer of the Woodstock Festival. He wrote that song, Dead Man's Curve, Janet Dean, and he wrote the Cowsill song, The Rain Apart,
good
and the other things. But he wrote a real good one, Crispin St. Peter's.
Ah, Pied Piper?
Always.
Oh, marvelous.
Right. So he...
Bambi Manor fans.
Bambi Manor?
Whose show is this?
What?
Whose show is this?
What?
Bambi Manor fans may remember that one. That was always a big favorite on Pied Piper.
And so anyway, Artie was involved with that. So I was still involved with him, but he was a vice president at Capitol Records back then, of A&R. And he lost the job there. I don't know, he quit or he fired, I don't know what. With him, who knows. So here I am up the paddle, the river without a paddle.
Up the paddle?
Right. So like, I'm in there, no producer with a record company anymore. I had no deal, but I had an album. Just played at Woodstock. I couldn't get myself arrested. You believe this?
That's hard to believe.
Right. So
I've seen you in
then Artie comes up because after
it's easy to get arrested.
After Woodstock, like he had this whole deal with Warner Brothers because they had lost money on Woodstock, but Warner Brothers offered to buy for the movie rights.
Right.
So they all got out of the hole with that, and then Artie got his own label with Buddha Records, and that's when I put out the next album.
Next album,
which
please.
Sarge has a copy of this, so just happens to have it handy. Right, that's it. This was a tremendous...
Inside Bert Sommer.
Inside Bert Sommer is going. Now, you see, this opens... Well, who's these guys?
Oh, these guys out.
This goes like this. You see, here was the concept. I'm walking, it's called Inside Bert. This is how do we get inside my head. What is me, right? What makes up me? So this is me walking across. I walk across the album like this. Then I come back in over here. And then here I am at a refrigerator, you see, which, much to my surprise, I'm... Whoa! And I open it up and it's filled only with ice cream and Hydrox cookies, which are like Oreos, but the cream in a Hydrox is much better. It's a much better cookie, and for the money, stick with Hydrox. Anyway, and here on this album, I had a song called "We're All Playing in the Same Band," which I may like do a few bars of later. And that song was good because it sold 420,000 copies. To this day, I still get airplay royalties from BMI for writing it.
Why don't we hear a little bit of that song right now?
A little bit of that song.
Can we, George, we're going to pick up this guitar.
George,
here.
we're going to, personal friend of mine, George, right over here. I love this guy also, especially this one. Now here, listen, I'm going to give you one verse. Hey, live right here. Real George's back here. Sarge Blotto's out. We're all playing in the same band. There's enough guitars for you and me. Stand beside your brother and take his hand. It seems that times are changing finally. Oh, and we're all playing in the same band. We're all playing in the same band. We're all playing in the same band. Marvelous. Oh, Bert, you look. So yes, that was that song. And that song sold. I know none of you have ever heard it because you're so young. Ask me how old I am.
How old are you, Bert?
I'm not telling you. But I'm too old. I'm too old. Anyway, yes, that was just a brief verse.
Mm-hmm.
I love talking to the camera. You know, it's like, it's good. You know, like, look at the camera. It makes me feel marvelous.
Born to be a star, Bert.
Right. So,
what have we here?
well, we were in this decade. We were in this decade here.
How troublesome girls. Oh wait.
Right.
How troublemakers use girls to put down the cops.
This was an Esquire, and it was like, it was just done as a job, right? And I happened to get it because I was in hair at the time, so they figured, you know, I was cool or something. So you get paid. What did they give you, like 60 an hour or 80 an hour for modeling? Like all these girls were models in Cosmopolitan and. Well, all of them done.
Yeah, this was sort of like your
right.
This was sort of like your break into modeling.
Yeah,
and you never really worked out.
And can you believe this? Not one of these girls was ready to do nothing either after the shoot.
So you never became the new Christy Brinkley.
No, I unfortunately I didn't. But anyway, now here we are. We're at 1970 now, and that happened so.
So no, so far you've been
1985.
You've been a Broadway star. You've had a major record deal. Yeah. You've been featured at the Woodstock Festival. You've tried to become the next Christy Brinkley.
Where's the money? What happened to the money? Charlie, you was my brother. You should look down for me a little. Okay. Could have been somebody.
Well, we'll be right back. No, and so what was the next? We did two albums.
Okay, we got the two albums.
And we're all playing in the same band, which was.
So that was happening. That got me work. That got me like I opened for Ike and Tina Turner at. This is inside this picture. This was a shot. This is what I looked like in '71 when I opened for Ike and Tina at Winterland. It was them and Spirit, and Ike and Tina was the headline. And that was like around Halloween time. That was great. And I would open for people. Costume. Yeah, I played at Carnegie Hall. I opened for Poco. I did, festivals and stuff like that. I was like the opening at the Birds and Richie Havens out in New Jersey at some racetrack. Things like that. I played all over the island at colleges. You did. At Delphi.
You did a date here at SUNY.
Played at SUNY, opened for the Jefferson Airplane and Papa John Creech. That was in 71 or something like that. Yeah. And that's what I was doing most of the time.
I saw that show.
Was I good?
I don't remember.
Ah! I love this guy. So,
but you told me you were there, so I believe you.
Of course. But so there was all this kind of, opening act stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And places like the Bitter End and Folk City down in New York. I had Folk City.
Yeah.
Kenny's Castaways.
Oh, yeah. Very lovely place.
Vinnie Boombotz's Lounge Rendezvous. I played there.
That was in Jersey, though, right?
Yeah, stuff like that. Opening act. And it was kind of like tour, but not the tour like you see today,
Yeah.
That you see so-and-so's on with MTV tour with somebody in all the stadiums. I didn't hit that.
Yeah, all this time you had 2 albums out and you had never been on MTV, right? Okay. So what year are we in now?
We're like, I don't know, we're in 71. So anyway, then that other album, because it had sold a little, but the single had sold real well. So Buddha said to me, well, look, why don't you sign directly to us? Because this second album was on a Luthra, which was distributed by Buddha, Luthra Records. And I said, well, I can't sign directly with you because I'm signed with Artie Kornfeld. He's my buddy. And so Neil Bogart, which is the guy that owned Buddha at the time, and who went on to